What if I told you there's a budgeting method so simple, so liberating, it feels less like budgeting and more like financial freedom? Forget complex spreadsheets and endless tracking that leads to a dead end. Discover the empty jar budget, a refreshing, no-excuses approach that guarantees you'll start every month feeling empowered, not overwhelmed. Your financial future starts now with an empty jar. Let's be honest, for most of us, traditional budgeting feels like a chore we're constantly failing at. We set these rigid targets, but then life happens. You have a rollover from last month, perhaps a bit of leftover cash or, more likely, a bit of lingering debt, and suddenly your new month is already tainted by the old one. I remember my own light bulb moment with this. I used to keep a miscellaneous buffer in my account, thinking it was a safety net. But because it didn't have a specific name or a jar, I'd find myself at a drive-thru at 9 p.m. on a Tuesday, spending that safety net on a large portion of chips and a milkshake. Because that money didn't have a job, I gave it a really bad one. The common pitfall is complexity. We try to track every single penny in real time, and when we inevitably miss a coffee or a parking charge, the whole system collapses. This creates a cycle of budgeting guilt. You feel like you're constantly behind, trying to fix past mistakes rather than planning for the future. This is where the empty jar method changes the game. It isn't just about numbers, it's about a total financial reset. The core philosophy is simple. We empty our financial jar monthly. We take our total income and allocate every single pound to a specific category until exactly zero remains. This forces a level of intentionality that most systems lack. Imagine your budget as a physical jar. At the end of the month, regardless of what happened, we tip it out. Any surplus goes to savings or debt. Any deficit is addressed. Then, we start with a blank slate. There is a profound mental shift that happens when you look at a zero balance at the start of the month. You aren't asking, what's left, after your bills. Instead, you are actively deciding, where does this pound need to go? It breaks the cycle of carryover guilt and gives you a fresh opportunity to make better decisions every 30 days. So, how do you actually do this? It's a process of purposeful allocation. First, identify your essential spending categories. In early 2026, we've seen the energy price cap nudge up to around £1,758, so your utility jar needs to be a priority. Next, apply the power of zero-based budgeting. You take your take-home pay and start filling your jars, whether these are digital pots in your banking app or actual envelopes. I'll give you a fun example of how this works in my house. I have a very specific treat jar. One month, I managed to save a bit on our grocery shop by switching to a discounter. I moved those extra pounds into the treat jar. By the end of the month, I realized I had exactly enough for one of those ridiculously fancy, overpriced Lego sets I'd been eyeing. Because that jar was empty at the end of the month anyway, I bought it with zero guilt. Building a plastic Star Wars ship feels a lot better when you know it didn't come out of your rent money. In 2026, we have incredible tools like HyperJar or Emma to make this effortless. Many British banks like Monzo or Starling let you automate your standing orders into specific pots, ensuring your empty jar stays organized while you sleep. A common misconception is that a strict budget means no fun. In reality, the empty jar method provides more freedom, not less. Because you've already allocated money for fun, you can spend it without that nagging voice in your head. You also gain incredible flexibility. I once had a month where my car decided to fail its MOT spectacularly on the 15th. In the old days, that would have ruined my entire year. But with the empty jar method, I just looked at my other jars. I borrowed from the clothes jar and the dining out jar. I didn't fail my budget. I just reallocated my jars to meet the reality of the month. The most surprising benefit is the emotional freedom. When you reset every month, you naturally start to see your spending patterns more clearly. You'll notice if the takeaway jar is always running dry too early, helping you optimize your habits without the need for a lecture from a financial advisor. Before we wrap up, I want to give you 2 secrets to stop your jar from cracking. First, sinking funds. Some jars aren't for this month, they are for the future. Every month, put £20 into a Christmas jar or a car insurance jar. When that big bill hits in November, your monthly jar stays perfectly balanced because you've been filling that pot all year. Second, If you're self-employed or have a fluctuating income, don't panic. Use last month's lowest earnings as your empty jar baseline. Anything extra you earn mid-month doesn't get spent. It goes into a holding jar to fund next month's start. This creates a buffer that protects your peace of mind. There is no better time than right now to reclaim your financial narrative. January is the perfect window to sweep away the clutter of previous years and implement this transformative approach. I have a challenge for you. Try the empty jar method for just 1 month. Commit to giving every pound a purpose and emptying that jar before the next payday. You will be amazed at how much found money appears when you stop letting it leak through the cracks. Next month, we'll talk about how to repeat this cycle for continuous success and how to handle those larger, unexpected shocks to the jar. But for now, take that first step. Clear the slate, fill your pots, and start your journey toward true financial clarity. Please like, share, and subscribe. It helps the channel.